It is important to keep an eye on your network, especially if a machine is having trouble communicating. Following, we're going to talk about the commands you need to know to monitor your network activity, including watching the processes that are listening on the network and what connections are active. One way to monitor your network and to check connectivity is by sending test packets. With the ping command, you can send a test packet to a known host. These test packets are ICMP, or Internet Control Message Protocol packets. ICMP packets help track connectivity and provide control messages between systems. One caveat is, unless you put the "-c command, it's just continuously going to send a packet in the key command until you cancel it by hitting Control-C. I'll show you how that looks in CentOS. Alright, here I am on my CentOS server, and I'm going to ping google.com real quick. And see, because I didn't put a Control-C, it's just going to continuously... Oh, this one's failing. There we go. So it's continuously going to go until I hit Control-C, and then it will stop. And it said it received 8. I apparently lost some from this virtual machine. I have it on the cloud. But that's the basics of the ping command. As the band page for ping says, ping uses the ICMP protocol's mandatory echo request to elicit a echo response from a host or gateway. So that basically means I can do ping google.com, or I could also do ping the IP address itself. So we can ping the IP itself. Ping 49s, which is another server for Google, and as I can see, we're getting a response. We actually got a faster response that time, and there's no packets just lost. And real quick, I'll do an example of ping-c for count, and I'm going to say 3, and we'll just do google.com again, and it's going to take a second, and here we go, and see, it just did 3 times. Now, if you're looking for host information, a command you can use is the host command, because sometimes problems with DNS, sometimes connectivity issues has more to do with DNS not working properly than actual network connectivity. And the host command helps you test this, because the host command queries the DNS server to determine the IP addresses assigned to that host name and returns all the addresses associated with that host name. And these examples of is where we search for Google using host. You can use the host command to find the IP address or the host name again. One caveat here is where if I did host of the IP address and it returned the web servers themselves and not the actual website alias, such as google.com in this example. As we see from the man page, host is a simple utility for performing DNS lookups. It is normally used to convert names to IP addresses and vice versa. Quick host google.com. And those are the web address of google.com. But if we did host, that IP address it gave us, see, we get the actual web server itself and not the alias google.com. So beware of that. Another really cool command is the dig command. A dig command will display all of the DNS records associated with the host or the network that you looked up. In this case, if we did dig for google.com, we see the web servers and we see the alias and we see how long it took. Looking at the man page for dig, dig is a flexible tool for interrogating DNS named servers. It performs DNS lookups and displays the answers that are returned from the named servers that were queried. Most DNS administrators use dig to troubleshoot DNS problems because of its flexibility, ease of use, and clarity of output. NS lookup is another very useful command. It has 2 different modes to it, interactive and non-interactive. It's a great tool for querying a DNS server also. Okay, if you just type in NS lookup by itself, it takes you to interactive mode, where you can simply type in google.com, for example, and then you can type in 49s, and see, it gives you the name of what you're looking for, it gives you the web address, and it also gives you an IP6 address, and it tells you the web server address over there. You can also just type in NS lookup and then google.com, and that would take you to non-interactive mode because it just gives you that one return and you're back at the command line. Now, if you need more detailed information about your network environment, there are two more advanced commands that can be used. First of all is netstat command. By default, it lists all the open network connections on the system. Netstat command prints out network connections, routing tables, and interface statistics. You can use different arguments to limit the outputs. For example, you can do /t for TCP only, /u for UDP, /l for what's listening, and you can also do a /s command for a breakdown of everything going across your network. The example over here is from CentOS, but I'm going to bring up Ubuntu real quick for you. Now if we type in netstat -s, that's the breakdown of everything going over my cloud virtual machine for Ubuntu. And you can see it tells me IP forwarding's going on, I have ICMP messages going back and forth, TCP going on, UDP going on. That's a pretty useful tool if you look at it. A program connected to a port is called a socket. With the SS command, you can link which system processes are using which network sockets that are active. SSS is used to dump socket statistics. It allows showing information like netstat. It can display more TCP and state information than other tools. If you use it with the ANPT argument, it displays both listening and established TCP connections and the processes they're associated with. For example, on this machine here, there's an established SSH connection on port 22 that's been going on for a while. And I just spun up this Ubuntu machine to take a look at what it says for SS-ANPT. And right now, nothing's really going on in the virtual machine because it's disconnected from the main network. Review question time. Which two commands set the IP address, subnet mask, and default router information on an interface using the command line? If you need a moment to pause and go look back, we did cover this earlier in the slideshow. The answer is the NMUTI command provides an interactive text menu for selecting a network interface and setting network parameters. And the IP command provides a command line tool for setting network parameters. Thank you everybody for joining me, and please join me again next time.